Good evening. Just want to say Happy New Year. Thank you all for joining us. Please forgive my voice. I don't normally sound like this. We're going to make it through tonight. Hopefully by next time I'll be able to speak clearly. But I know we have several guests here with us this evening. I want to say thank you for taking time to be with us. We do have a special council meeting that we're going to do first to consider approval of the 2026 budget. And then directly following that, then we're going to open our pre-council agenda meeting. So I've asked Dawn Rainey to lead us in our invocation and Tanya Hale to lead us in our pledge. Please stand.
Pray with me, please. Dear Lord, thank you for this time. Thank you for this community and what it means to all of us. Help us tonight to act on things we need to and not act on some things we might not need to, but do it with good judgment and cooperation and in a spirit that will please you. We ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Face the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. I'd like to call the special meeting to order. Jason, please call the roll.
Mr. Kirkman. Mr. Morris.
Here.
Mr. Howell.
Here.
Mr. Cargill.
Here.
Mrs. Hale.
Here.
Mr. Rainey.
Here.
Mr. Brewer. Here. Mr. Challenger.
Here.
The only item on the agenda for the special meeting is the consideration of adoption of the 2026 budget. Mr. Neer, you received a few questions. I know you disseminated some emails. And then there was a question about our mobile phone expenditures, and so I asked Stephen Gifford to be here this evening to give a quick update on that as well.
Yeah, I'll let him do that first because it does not affect anything.
Sure,
in the
Stephen.
budget as far as the cell phone.
Okay.
I spoke with Ms. Lilly trying to get some of the questions for the cell phone services. We currently are on Verizon. We want to let you know that we do speak to multiple carriers throughout the year. We've had Motorola in, we've had AT&T in. They all come in and they offer us what their platform is. We are currently on what we feel is the best platform in ease of use, in customer service, and in cost. We are on a regional government contracting plan. We have the lowest rate that is possible, and it's actually lowered twice this year. And on top of that, we're also part of the first responders networking group. So if cell services were to be diminished, all of our city services would still have priority and continue to work. Just kind of looking through some of the lists. Some of the costs of why we have picked up more cellular services are, one, all of our Axon cameras, because that footage is in the cloud, it has its own modems to get those body cams and those vehicle camera footages onto the cloud. And then secondly, AT&T has shut off all their landlines. I don't know if you guys have noticed, those little boxes out on the street, they're ripping them up, they're tearing them up, and anything that's damaged, they're not repairing them. So we've had to shut off all of those services, and the only way to keep those services is to go into cellular boxes. So all of our alarm systems, all of our fax systems that are still being used, all use cellular services. So we are working on minimizing those. Every month we do look at usage. If devices aren't in use, we do shut them off. Again, we are constantly looking to make sure that we got the cheapest service and the best solutions. Any other questions? That's kind of a general where we're at. Yes.
One of the questions that I had was, I know a lot of our department heads and others carry a personal phone as well as a city phone.
Yeah, I've got two as well.
It seems like an antiquated system. Is there not an app or something, some way that we could work around having people carry two phones? Is it?
There are some solutions. When I started working for the city, I only used one phone. I went to using two phones because of personal use and city use. I take personal phone calls. I have personal activities I do on my side. Rather than using the city services, I wanted to have my own. I wanted to have my own photos. I didn't have to worry about sharing with city phone services. So most of the folks that have multiple phones, I'll back up, there are a lot of people that only have one phone. But the ones that have two phones, it's because they want to kind of split their lives, if you will. They don't want everything on the city phone. And then on top of that too, for a lot of our police and fire, there's a lot of CJIS information that can be on a city phone because we have securities on it. Whereas a personal phone, we shouldn't have anything for CJIS on a personal phone. So that kind of also creates a little bit of separation between it. So there are some apps. Google has a phone app that I've used multiple places where you can have a phone number, call your cell phone. It does take longer to answer, and it also doesn't always work. So by having the services we have, are there other solutions? Absolutely, and we can dig into some more of those. The people that have multiple phones, I will say too, is actually very few compared to how many we have in the city. So that's a good question, and I got that on my list to see if we can look into that some more. Yes, sir.
Any other questions for Stephen? Appreciate you giving an update.
Okay, I did email out the budget this afternoon, so you could look at it prior to this meeting. But I will point out on your hard copy, the change has been made with the $30,000 reduction in overtime on the sanitation page. We took the property appraisal and survey amount off of the Parks Department, which added $5,000 to the bottom line. The capital reduction in Parks, when we reduced that capital ask down to $86,000, it added $18,000 to the bottom. After the meeting, we did some research into the confusion on the Public Works Department. The salary amounts, the two that had been requested, we were asked to reduce one of those from 16% down to 10, so that 4,700 addition came in after the meeting. Another couple of things that came up afterwards was the Rialto review. Mike came to me and said, we can do better on revenue for the Rialto. We put our heads together, come up with some ideas to get more admissions and concessions, so they raised their revenue amount by $35,000 across concessions and admissions and what they expect to take in. And then the biggest change was after the meeting, he asked for a detail to be given to him on the amount of contract labor that was rolled into that one salary line that they've been using, and discovered that it's really not as much as they thought. And so they think they can do contract labor $164,000 less than what was in the budget. So they've dropped that as well, which is really excellent news. The other minor things that I did put in there were the unspent amounts that we've reconciled from the end of the year on donations for Holiday of Lights, the Race Street beautification money that was not spent, the renovation money that was approved this year for this building that still has not yet completed, and then police and fire, their carryovers with forfeitures and donations as well. So with those changes, we went from an excess revenue amount of $1,780,116 on Monday to now we're sitting at $1,972,574 for 26.
Thank you, Jason. Any questions or comments from the council?
I appreciate everyone working to tighten things up a little bit, and I know you all have the city's interest at heart, all of you. Appreciate it.
If there's no additional questions or comments, I'd entertain a motion to read by title only the ordinance. We have a motion by Mr. Challenger. We have a second by Mr. Cargill. Let the minutes also show that Mr. Kirkman is now present, so he'll be present to vote. We have a motion by Mr. Challenberg and a second by Mr. Cargill to read by title only.
Mayor, I'd just like to say that I still have some concerns about some of the budget items and some of the expenditures. But we need to adopt the budget and get started, and maybe we can address those concerns as the year goes forward.
Okay, sure.
That was a comment, Mayor, that had on my mind that Mr. Rainey just made. The budget is just a working document that can be amended at any time, and as you well know, we amend it quite often, so I agree with what Mr. Rainey said.
Okay, thank you. Any further discussion? If not, please call the roll, Jason.
Mr. Kirkman?
Yes.
Mr. Morris?
Yes.
Mr. Howe?
Yes.
Mr. Cargill?
Yes.
Mrs. Hale?
Yes.
Mr. Rainey?
Yes.
Mr. Brewer?
Yes.
Mr. Challenger?
Yes.
An ordinance adopting the budget for the operation of the city of Searcy for the calendar year 2026, declaring an emergency and for other purposes.
We have a motion to adopt. We have a motion by Mrs. Hale. Do we have a second? Second by Mr. Challenberg. Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Mr. Morris?
Yes.
Mr. Howe?
Yes.
Mr. Cargill?
Yes.
Mrs. Hale?
Yes.
Mr. Rainey?
Yes.
Mr. Brewer?
Yes.
Mr. Challenger?
Yes.
Mr. Kirkman?
Yes.
The need to maintain the fiscal affairs of the city of Searcy and to provide for the adoption of a budget pursuant to Arkansas law and provide for the administration and operation of the city of Searcy and to protect the public peace, health, safety, and welfare. An emergency is hereby declared, and this ordinance shall be in full force and effect immediately upon its adoption and the adoption of this emergency clause by the city council of the city of Searcy.
Mayor, motion to adopt the emergency clause.
Thank you. We have a motion by Mr. Morris. Do we have a second? Second by Mr. Cargill. Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Mr. Howe?
Yes.
Mr. Cargill?
Yes.
Mrs. Hale?
Yes.
Mr. Rainey?
Yes.
Mr. Brewer?
Yes.
Mr. Challenger?
Yes.
Mr. Kirkman?
Yes.
Mr. Morris?
Yes.
Thank you. There's no other agenda items for the special council meeting. Any other comments? If not, we will adjourn the special council meeting.
I would just like to say thank you to Kim for hanging out to make these changes for our employees. Thank you, Kim.
Yes, thank you, Kim. Thanks for being a trooper. Okay, we're gonna move right along. I'm gonna call to order the agenda meeting. And first up, we have an update from Blanson and Associates on financial services. Is she coming Tuesday?
She is not. She asked me if I could present this tonight.
Okay, thank you.
Because she had some problems getting here today.
Okay,
In your financial summary that she has provided for year end, we finished 2025 with total revenues of $37.6 million. Our expenditures were $27.6 million, which came in at 91% of the amended budget. $8.6 million was transferred out of the general fund for debt service. So we had a net increase there of $1.34 million in the general fund. The street fund had revenues of $2.34 million for the year, expenditures of $257. They were at 95% of budget in the street department. And our other funds had revenues of $5.5 million, expenditures of $11 million, which was 99% of the budget. Sales tax inflows for the year for debt, again, I said that earlier, was $8.6 million. Our total expenditures for the year, again, was $27.6 million. Excess revenues was 9.9 before debt service and transfers. It was a good year.
all right, thank you for walking through that, Jason.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any questions for Jason on that? Okay. We do have quarterly reports. in your packets from Forward Searcy, the Chamber of Commerce, the Humane Society, and Main Street Searcy. Thank you all for providing those. And then also there is an accounting report in the Forward Searcy as requested previously. So those numbers are in there. Alrighty. We will have a public hearing on the Coast to Coast property on Tuesday at the council meeting. So just assuming we can move that forward.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And then if it's okay with the council, we have an agenda item number 19, which is regarding a rezone consideration of 601 and 603 North Hussey from R2 to R1. Would it be okay to move that to the next agenda item? Because I know there's several here in attendance this evening.
Mayor, I'd appreciate us moving it forward because we have some people here for it, and we've got a fairly long agenda, and I hate for them to have to sit out there and listen to some people waiting on their item, so I'd appreciate us moving it forward.
Okay, thank you. Richard Stafford?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. This rezone passed the Planning Commission vote of 5-4 yesterday with some comments from the public neighboring, some of the neighbors showing some concerns. After the meeting, the applicant reached out to me this morning, listening to some of those concerns, and is requesting that the council remove or withdraw the ordinance for your consideration tonight, and instead would like to go back to the Planning Commission in February, and instead of asking for a rezone from the R2 to the R1, instead do an R2 to a PUD. What that does, this is a property with the which the applicants are here. If you've got any questions for them, Tree Frog Properties, that's Mr. Bonner and Mr. Robertson. They intend to build some duplexes. The R1 district, however, does allow that, but it allows multifamily as well. And so the neighbors were concerned that there could potentially be apartments built there. What the PUD process would do, they would submit their site plan along with the rezone, and it would have to be exactly what they submit in that site plan. So that gives some assurances to the neighbors that it can only be the duplexes. From what we understand, which I believe there's some of the neighbors here who, if they would like to speak as well, but what our understanding is, their concern was an apartment complex, not necessarily the duplexes. So this would give them the assurances that the duplexes are the only things that could be built by going to the PUD.
So duplexes would be the only thing that could be built.
That's if the PUD would get passed with that site plan, yes, sir. So they're requesting to pull this agenda item and go back to the Planning Commission in February to request a PUD.
Okay, thank you for that explanation. I do have one individual that has asked to speak with this new news. Would that individual still want to speak, or are y'all okay with that being pulled? This would be your opportunity to speak on this agenda item.
I'll just put my word in.
Okay.
I'm Richard Yeager. I own 405 North Hussey, right next to 601. And I was opposed to the R1. I'm glad to hear this. I'd like to see what their plans are and what they're going to do and know what's going on. Just because of, you know, there's already a lot of kids there. If we pump more houses into a two-lot place, it's a lot of congestion, I think, and a lot more people. So I'm glad they've done this, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they have.
Thank you very much. And to my understanding, there will be a public hearing at the Planning Commission. Richard, you want to give more details?
This would require a new application, a new public hearing, and so the neighbors would have the opportunity to look at their plan that they're proposing, so.
Okay, thank you.
Mayor, I just want to say I'm very appreciative of the property owners willing to do this, and I know they're here, and we thank y'all very much for your willingness to do this, and I think it'll satisfy a lot of the people interested in the area.
I say the same. Thank you, gentlemen, for doing that.
And for your investment in our community.
Absolutely.
So we appreciate
Thank you.
that. Okay, so if the council's okay, we'll go ahead and pull that agenda item off the agenda. All right, thank you. And if you, I mean, you're welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting, but if you don't want to, you're welcome to exit as well and make supper time. So. Okay, that moves us to agenda item number 4, a discussion regarding de-annexation of property requests from Mr. and Mrs. Hardy and Jean Medler, then also Jason and Brandy Goodwin. Are y'all present this evening? Okay. Do you mind to come forward and state your name? Well, you can go first and then,
I'm Jason Goodman.
okay. Go ahead, Mr. Jason.
I mean, I don't really see no point in my property being in the city limits because I don't have Cersei water. I don't have the Cersei trash pickup or nothing like that, so that's the reason I really wanted it pulled out.
Do you mind to describe the location of your property?
You go across Red River past Walmart, and then you go across another bridge and it's there on the right and it goes to the river. There's 113 acres there.
Okay, in the council's packet, it looks like we have a boundary survey provided. Okay, and then also legal description.
Never did understand why it was brought into the city.
I don't know either. I don't know. I mean, I bought it 2 years ago.
We've had an adjoining property or some property close to this
Donald
already.
Johnson, that's it, yeah. He got his out of it.
Well, back at the time, the landowners requested it be brought in the city limits,
Okay.
so we accommodated.
Right.
Thank you, Mr. Goodwin. Any other questions for Mr. Goodwin? Okay, do we have?
I have a question, it's not of him, probably of Mr. Stafford, but I'm looking at the area map and I see where a little jog is taken out of it, and I'm assuming that's the property owned by the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission. That is the boat launching ramp and parking lot, is that correct, down here?
Yes, sir. That's the,
Yeah. So that would remain in the city limits, is that correct?
yes, sir. Golf cart is correct.
So our law enforcement and the fire department still would have jurisdiction over that area. Thank you. Thank you,
bet.
Mr. Stafford.
Do we have a Mr. Medler?
Yes, I'm Hardy Medler, and basically the same situation as Jason there. And well, I've got like 8.55 acres, and I really don't see why it was put in Cersei city limits, but I'd like to be de-annexed if it's possible.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Medler?
Is your property north of, or where is it located in?
Mine is on the very north end of the city limits there that they have. Mine's the very north property.
Okay. But it does adjoin the,
It joins Jason.
okay.
It joins Jason there. And Don Johnson, I believe. Part of it. Is that all?
Any other questions for Mr. Medler? That's all. Thank you.
Mayor, since we're kind of in a formal meeting,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Medler, you wouldn't be related to Kenny Medler, would you?
My father.
I know that. He's a good fellow. I've known him forever.
As far as due process with a de-annexation, what would be the appropriate next steps now that we've received a formal request?
I suppose moving forward and pass an ordinance to de-annex it. That's what we've done in the past, and then they've got some obligations to follow up with the county on.
Okay, any official surveys need to be done or anything?
It appears like they've provided that.
We just need the legal description for the Medler property.
Okay. Would the council like to move this forward to Tuesday?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank y'all very much. This will move forward to Tuesday's vote. Item number 5, our tree board appointments. The list is in your packets. And I'll just let you read those here. To my understanding, Richard, these are, I guess, kind of a reset, so to speak.
Yeah, there was some, lost, anyways, we're just got with the board and reset the list and just resetting all of the appointments and starting afresh, so.
So move it forward for approval
Move it
Tuesday
forward.
night.
Great, thank you very
Good group
much.
of people.
Item number 6 is discussion or review of the City of Searcy governing body procedures for 2026.
Mayor, there's no changes on here from what we have operated under in the past.
Yeah, I think the idea is if everything seems to be working well, we can press right along. The one thing that was mentioned is, I believe pretty much every time there's an ordinance, we vote to read by title only, would be the consideration. If y'all want to go ahead and just do that by default, read by title only unless there's a request to read the entire ordinance, and then we could go ahead and read the entire ordinance.
I think you've got to move to suspend the rules on each ordinance,
Okay. So we'll just keep operating as is.
unless Mr. Moore has other information.
If we wanted, I don't think we're gonna break anything if we suspended the rules each meeting in between. There's a long history of it. We just gotta make sure we read the emergency clause. We can't, I do know we can't avoid that, but, if we wanna continue to suspend it before each ordinance, there won't be any objection from me.
It's not that big a deal. It just be saving a few seconds every time. We'll just keep it as is? Just seeing some nods, okay. So then, we're just saying we're gonna continue the governing body procedures as we have been in 2025, and we will do that again for 2026. Does that sound good? We'll move that does that require a vote? Will, does that require a vote? Sure. Okay, so we'll move that forward. Item number 7, this is just continued discussion of the timing of splitting the clerk treasurer position. To my understanding, Jason, you provided, there's really not a job description, so to speak, because the clerk position is an elected position, which that's outlined in state statute. But I think you use some tools to summarize that onto what kind of looks like a job description.
Right, just to give you an idea of what that position will entail.
I'd like a little bit more time to review that. I didn't have time this week, so could we set this for the February meeting?
Sure.
If we need a formal approval of it?
Yeah. Okay.
Mayor, will this constitute what we need to do to split them so that people will file?
That's right.
For a clerk position, will this take care of that as well?
That's right. So it would be an ordinance to split the position so that those that might be interested in the elected position of clerk could then file. We'll make sure I'm saying this correctly, but the position wouldn't actually be split until January 1st, 2027.
That's correct.
Whenever that term would expire.
But filing begins like in May or so, doesn't it?
That's right. So it would need to give enough time for those that are interested to file. And then also, the treasurer position would then become an appointed position, right? So that's also not a hired staff position, but an appointed position that would have to be reappointed each term. Is that correct, Will?
That is correct. It's an appointment to a 4-year term.
Yeah.
Would that just be something happens the first meeting in January, or?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So, the idea here would be Jason currently is our clerk treasurer both, right, which is an elected position. If the council passes that ordinance to split the two, the clerk would then be elected and the council could appoint Jason to another term, and that creates consistency with the financial management of the city from election to election. And this is not uncommon. This is a very common practice with many other municipalities.
It's a good plan.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. It creates that continuity. Okay, so, we'll go ahead and just move that to February. Does that sound good?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And then we have the update on the My Cersei projects from Richard. Richard, I think you've got most of all the other agenda items.
Sorry, everybody. I'll be fast, right? Start with Riverside Park. So our team, design team, Modus and EDG are going to be here on Tuesday, if council so chooses on the next agenda item, to present the master plan for what they have so far for the entire area. And then I'll let them fill you in on that process of where they're at. I did have an update meeting with our design team, and also our trail builder, who we were doing a Zoom meeting, and he zoomed in from Riverside Park, sitting on a rock, which was really fun. But anyways, our trail builder, he says he's got about 80% of the trail laid out, flagged out at Riverside. Anticipating to have the completed design and cost to us by the end of the month. And then if everything looks good as far as the budget goes, to us in the design, he'll be able to mobilize and begin construction in mid-February, 1st of March. So super exciting about that, to start seeing some trail construction. There's, like I said, there's potentially about 12 miles of trail, ranging in difficulty from, it's kind of like ski resorts now. You got your greens and your blues and your blacks, the green being the easiest. We'll start with the easy trail construction. That goes pretty quick, so we're hoping to have some trail out there that we can open to the public to begin riding on while they finish construction on the more difficult trails, which will take considerable amount of time. But he's hoping about a 9 to 12 month process of total completion for all of the trails and all difficulty levels. But the easy stuff to get people out there riding and hiking should actually go pretty quick. So pretty exciting update on that. But I'll let the design folks tell you about the other areas, the other amenities that the idea there is to have, they're after they present to you all, they're going to work on our phasing and identify each phase with a cost, so we can back off what our trail costs to see how much we have left of our $5 million, and pursue with whatever phase we want to move forward with the remainder of the money outside of our trails. So,
Richard, one part of this too, know you and Mr. Davidson, I believe, presented to the Water Utility Board.
Yes.
Because some of those trails will be on that property. Want to give a quick update on that as well?
yes, we did speak with the Water Utility Board. We've been in talks with them for a long time about potentially using their property out there to build trails on. So and we also got the grant that connects the bike trail up to Riverside Park, and that route will go around the old sewer ponds. And so we met with them to begin the formalization of the process of actually use agreements and what that were easements and what that needs to look like to make it official. So they were in total agreement and excited about the project and so we're moving forward with that. I believe Mr. Rainey's working on a use agreement with the Water Department for Riverside Park, and then once we have the trails designed, we kind of know the alignment, we'll have an easement that will then be granted to the city to use from the Water Department for our trails.
We want to express our appreciation to the Water Utility Company for their willingness to partner and allow us to use, their land for these trails and connection points.
So that's Riverside Park. The Greenway connections, the tunnels, Crafton Toll's meeting with RDOT this week to go over the permit applications for the design. They're working on a new cost estimate for us as well. Remember, we've changed from going with a tunnel under BB caps to going under the bridge, which is going to be a pretty significant savings, we believe. They should be able to get me that estimate next week to look at. So Berry Hill Park, if you've been out there, moving along, it's really starting to take shape. You can really kind of see everything laid out. There's just a small section of trail and sidewalk concrete work left. Just along Moore, there's a gap, but the rest of the concrete work, the sidewalks and the curbs and everything has already been poured. The retaining wall that's between the splash pad and the playground area is complete, and it looks really nice. The stone retaining wall, it really looks good. That northwest parking lot, it's got all the curb laid and poured, just waiting on asphalt for it. The RJR, our playground company, should be starting back up here anytime soon, and we're still tracking on a February completion for it. Before I get to South Main, let me move on that one. Go to not bond project, but just updates. Thought I'd start updating you on the dog park and Yancey Park as we're going along on it. Working on site grading at the dog park. There's some big dirt piles you see them pushing around, just smoothing out the grades for where the dog park is. All the exterior sidewalks around the Carmichael property, the exterior walking path, that's complete. They're working on the interior, so everything that's inside the dog park will have some concrete trails that go into each side of the dog park, as well as the entryway into the dog park. They're working on that as well. And then, most of that parking lot's complete other than the paving. They do still have that, a bit of curb to pour there. Yancey Park, they've torn out the basketball courts and they've done the undercut. Good news there is the undercut was minimal, and what Mr. Davidson had expected, which is good news because that area is not known for great dirt, as we found out in the library construction of those parking lots. It's actually pretty lousy. So the undercut was a good minimal amount, so don't have to worry about budget numbers on it. So they should, I've got that undercut done. The pouring of that slab will have to wait till the warmer weather. It's a post-tension slab, which is like we did out at Berry Hill Park for the tennis courts and pickleball courts. That needs to be done in warm weather, so that won't probably be until around March when we actually pour the basketball court slabs. But in the meantime, we'll start working on the parking lot, which is just south of the courts.
I've had a lot of people ask me about that undercut. If you're saying that we're lucky, isn't it about a 500 or 600 foot undercut right now?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm happy that it's not as bad as you thought, but I was really surprised at how much you had to take out.
Well, they're just a few feet below what we call subgrade, which is the bottom of the gravel layer. So if the soil was really good, Mr. Rainey, we would just dig out enough to put the gravel in under the court. They've gone another 24 to 30 inches in some areas. What Richard's referring to, though, is we had budgeted 1,000 cubic yards of undercut in the original bid. We had required the contractors to go ahead and budget that amount in their bid, and the amount they've undercut is beneath that. So the expectation is there won't be a change order for additional undercut, although we did have to take out a substantial amount, as you said. It was within what we planned, I guess, is the key.
I've just had a lot of people that drive, up Skyline, look over there and say,
It's a hole. I saw a joke about a swimming pool. I said something. Yeah,
We're building a swimming pool, not building a swimming pool. All right, now we'll end on South Main. The first thing, Mr. Cardwell, you had asked about the contract to be shared. The contract that we signed this week was a change order that it just had this current change. So CDI is going to put together a revised contract for us that has all of it was 3 contracts basically, all together as one. They said they'd give it to us next week. So as soon as they get that to us, I'll share that with everybody. Much easier to see sift through the 3 different changes of contracts. So, I was out there. My office got our very first phone call for an inspection last night for footings. So we had inspectors out there today inspecting rebar, and there's concrete in the ground. So I was out there
For the community center.
For the community center. So I was out there this afternoon watching them actually dump concrete into the ground for the footings. So that's an exciting day for sure. So just stood out there and just watched concrete get poured, which CDI guys were like, well, watching concrete get poured gets tired after a while. I'm like, not to me, man, not to me. So it's pretty awesome. So footings are poured today. Utilities are being installed right now on both the community center side as well as aquatics. There's dirt work that's continuing on the new baseball complex, and they're planning on beginning the construction on the soccer complex in February. CDI's got they're finishing setting up their job trailer, which I'm not calling a job trailer. It's an office. It's huge. I mean, it's a massive office building. It's like 3 huge trailers together. They're finishing putting that together, and then their gravel laydown area for all the material and equipment that'll be out there. They're about to have that completed. They have asked that on the 23rd, which is a Friday, that's going to be the new cadence for our normal regular update meetings, January 23rd. The CDI would like to invite the council to come out for a lunch and then a site tour and lunch at 11:30 on the 23rd. Our regular meeting, our update meeting, is at 10:30 that day. You are welcome to come out and sit in the meeting as well, but CDI would like to invite you to lunch that day and then a site tour out at the job trailer at 11:30. So 10:30 is the meeting. You're welcome to come to both, or one, or if you're tied up in either. But the 23rd, 11:30 is the lunch. So, and just to say too, if there's any time any of y'all ever want to go out to a construction site and don't feel like you're comfortable going out there, just give me a call. I'll go out there with you, or I'll set up a time with a contractor to take us on a tour, whatever that looks like. But I'm happy to go out there and show you around if contractors aren't available on a construction site. It's fun to go out there and see some of the progress. So if you're ever interested in that, please don't hesitate to call me, set something up. I'd be more than happy to take y'all out and tour the construction. So, and I think that's it. That's all I got on updates. So lots of good stuff happening. We're about to tear up half of Searcy, but that's okay. It's good things.
It's gonna be a big building here.
Yeah, good year.
Good update. Any questions for Richard? All right, so just to reiterate, the lunch and the site tour is January 23rd at 11:30 a.m.
And it'll be on site, and so the entrance to the job trailer is off Pioneer. You'll see the new road that's cut in off Pioneer. You'll go down it and then drive down that road a little bit. You can't miss the job trailer. Like I said, it's
A lot of dirt been moving down there in the last few days.
a lot of dirt. Yeah, no, it's pretty exciting to see. So
Hard hats and vests will be provided.
we will provide, yes, hard hats and vests will be provided. Anytime you go out there, you need to have safety equipment. So they'll have hard hats and vests ready for you.
Good stuff. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Item number 9, Richard alluded to this already, is presentation on the Riverside Park Master Plan. So Moda Studio, is EDG and Rogue coming, or just?
EDG
EDG
and
will be here.
Motor will be here.
Okay, so with council's okay, we'll move that forward to Tuesday? All right, thank you. Next up, item number 10, discussion, location and concept for a new skate park. As y'all know, the skate park, the former skate park, was relocated or taken down with our partnership with Forward Searcy and Marketing, the old location for industrial development. And so we've been considering locations for quite some time, and Richard's got a presentation to present to the council on where we might be able to put a new one.
Yeah, the mayor and I have been thinking about, since it was torn down with the economic development side, on where we could potentially at some point in time put a new one and what the potential cost might look like. And so we did some looking, and I came up with this little sketch here of an idea. Mike Parsons reached out to American Ramp Company. They actually provided the original equipment for the skate park, but that's their specialty, is construction of skate parks and that type of thing. So he reached out to them with some ideas. This is the idea here is like surface, on a concrete surface, the different ramps and elements on the concrete surface, and they said we would need a 50 by 100 concrete pad. So in looking at some areas, we thought a really good idea would be to put it out here near that small existing soccer parking lot. It's just south of the soccer complex, so it's still kind of in the thick of all of the new development, but it's kind of tucked away in its own little area for the skate park folks to enjoy, and it's got its own parking lot. I'm showing in that little gray rectangular area a pavilion. We have a pavilion that was taken down from the adult softball complex that was covering the playground. We have that, and so we could reutilize that out there, and they could have a covered pavilion as well. So if we ever decide to do this, it would be on us to hire somebody to build a 50 by 100 concrete pad and some I'm showing some sidewalks to get to it and such off of that parking area. And then they provided us like a kind of a rendering of what the elements might look like, and an estimate of the cost for something like that is about $100,000. Looking at the concrete number, it'd be close to around to another $100,000 for a concrete pad that size. So you're looking probably at a couple $100,000 to build a new pad, and then we would obviously do the relocating of the pavilion ourselves, and we already have that. So anyway, so that's, the mayor asked us to put something together to show y'all and talk about it, and just show you what we got.
It's something that you could break your neck on, but I'm surprised at how many comments I've had about, are we gonna get a skate park put back in?
I get comments all the time.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to.
I like the location. I think that's a good area over there, because we're never gonna use it for soccer or anything.
Right, that was, my idea was, so the little dark kind of line area and just north of it is the drainage ditch, basically. So the area to the south of that drainage ditch is pretty, you can't use it, it's not big enough to use for soccer, and then most of the new fields are gonna go to the north of that anyways. But that area does flow down to that ditch, so it's high enough to where it's not in that swampy area really. So you could build it to where it would drain down into that ditch, I think, fairly well, and it would serve, and then having a parking lot right next to it too would be, I think, really beneficial.
So it's needed, and you got a plan, so the holdup is $200,000.
Yep.
Thereabouts.
Thereabouts, yep.
All right, any other questions for Richard? Thank you, Richard, for spending some time. We have received quite a few comments ever since the other one was demoed. And so I think people will be happy to know we're looking at this option. And if we can, if the council wants to move forward and fund it, then I think we could work toward that goals.
Do we know if there's any possibility of grants to partially fund it?
Honestly, I think there might be even some sponsorship opportunities potentially. You never know if
Yeah,
somebody has a passion for that. We have looked into some grants in the past. I think what used to be called like Tony Hawk. Anyways, I don't think that those are funded as much anymore.
There's, and I know American Ramp Company, when I've talked to them in the past, and Mike has talked to them before as well. We might be able to reach out. I think the idea tonight was just to show you the location and the idea, and if the council thought that was a good idea to start investigating and looking towards, maybe, looking at resources and opportunities that we can find.
Doing some additional due diligence, as long as y'all like the concept.
I like the location.
Then we can put a little bit more thought into it. Okay, so Richard, we'll keep working toward this end, at least we have a direction. Good deal, thank you all so much. All right, item number 11, approval of qualified firms for 2026 general architectural, engineering, planning, and land surveying services.
Mayor?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I've looked over the list and I don't see the Half firm, the old Marler McClellan firm listed. And I know they've done some work for us just recently with our, I believe it's our floodplain management, if that's correct.
They did, yes, sir.
I'm just curious to why their name is not on this list.
They did not submit.
Were they notified?
They were it was advertised twice in the paper, under in those, so yeah,
They were notified. Just didn't submit.
It was advertised, yeah. It was advertised in the paper twice, and yeah, they did not submit.
Did you send, like, each individual firm some type of direct communications, an email, a letter or something advertising, or was it just to be picked up out of the paper?
I did to our locals, just out of courtesy of our local folks, but other than that, no.
I was just curious why they've done work for us in the past, they weren't notified.
Modus, our architects at Riverside Park, also didn't. They're not on the list as well because they didn't submit either. It's just they chose not to submit.
I'd like to point out clarification though, Mr. Morris. This does not omit them from doing work with the city of
Right.
Searcy. This is just a pre-approved list that we can pull from, but any specific project to be bid out, they can certainly bid
That
on
was gonna
it.
be my next question, on specific projects we could
Absolutely.
request that they submit.
This does not exclude us from hiring anybody if we want to take that opportunity. This is, as I understand it, is just the list that they've submitted, these are qualified. The committee that worked on this, I got to be your all's representative on this RFQ committee. It's just a list that we can pull from and not have to go to bids and all that. And there were 2 or 3 big dogs that I consider, this Tool Design and this EDG. These are pretty big outfits.
Mr. Rainey, that's good information to know, and I appreciate that very much. I just know that they did good work for us before, and I was just curious why they weren't on here.
Sure. They still will have opportunity to bid, yes.
Individual projects.
That's right.
Thank you.
The idea on these are sometimes like the smaller projects, like the grant projects or some of these things. If we have it saves some time having to not go through the formal RFQ process every time, which is typically about a 2-month turnaround on some smaller ones. The example would be later in the agenda, we're asking to use our list to hire Mr. Davidson for the trail up to Riverside Park from So those types of things are ideal scenarios, but if a large project or a unique project is something that we want to send out a specific RFQ for, the council is absolutely has the opportunity to do so.
Thank you both for the clarification. Thank you.
Do we need to, does it?
It does require a vote.
Okay, put it on Tuesday night.
Yes,
for a
sir.
vote.
Okay, we'll move that forward. Thank you for all those that worked on that, committee. Item number 12, authorization to seek RFQs for the RAISE grant project.
You should have in your packet, our RFQ, here. This is another good example, Mr. Morris, of just going out and soliciting a specific RFQ for a project. So this is for our RAISE grant. It's our $4.2 million planning and design grant. So we are requesting to advertise in the Gazette for qualifications to design and do the planning purposes for our RAISE grant funds.
Excuse me, just real quick, Stephen, can you check the live stream to make sure we're still streaming?
YouTube is, Facebook drop.
Facebook drop, okay.
YouTube's still recording it, at the end, we'll post it.
Okay, thank you. Sorry about that, Richard.
No, you're good. It's just so in the packet, you've got all of the information that will go into to the applicants or to the responders. And then as well as we will need, according to our new step, we'll need a council representative to step up and join our selection committee, so.
I'll be glad to do that,
Mr. Kirkman?
unless somebody else wants it.
No, I was pointing at Tanya, but I'm happy to point at you.
Go ahead, Tanya, if you want it.
I think the selection committee in our packet, we have listed it's the same that did the SS4A, so that's myself and the mayor, Mr. Moore, Mr. Lane, Gabrielle Engel, our planning administrator, and then a council member. I think that's 7.
And Debbie.
And Debbie, yes, and she's a grants, our great Debbie, so grants. And so if Mr. Kirkman would like to join our,
You want it, Tanya?
Yeah, you go ahead.
we can flip a coin.
Paper,
or
rock,
not.
scissors.
Really,
You draw straws.
listen, I'm doing A&G and Parks and Rec, so go right
Yeah, I
ahead.
found it very interesting, the last project we did.
This is a $4.2 million project versus a $500,000 project.
It's a big one.
The applicants probably are gonna be significant.
Yeah.
So should be an interesting one.
Okay, so are we good to move that forward for a vote for authorization?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Item number 13, authorization for mayor to negotiate a contract with recommended firm for LED lighting upgrades. To my understanding, we only had one.
Yeah, so this was an interesting one. We put out our RFQ for this one and we got one respondent. So, Mr. Brewer got off the hook on his, on his duties. I called him and I said, well, we have one. They're qualified. They are a qualified firm. It's a good firm. We've actually been in contact with them before on some things, on this specific type of work. So it's Integrity, Energy Integrity, is the name of the company, that we are, recommended to have the mayor go ahead and negotiate a contract with and enter an agreement, or negotiate a
And
contract.
this is gonna be to go into the city buildings and change out everything to LED.
That's right. This was in part of another grant project, or grant award, that all the city facilities will be upgraded, not all of them, because some of them are. The ones that aren't will be upgraded to LED, and then this also includes one of the soccer fields getting upgraded to LED lights as
It's
well.
a good deal, yeah. Okay, thank you. Item number 14, discussion, insurance policy cap amount. So you're off the hook for a minute, Richard, you get to sit down. This is, I guess, just to bring awareness. So obviously, we want to always have safety as our top priority at the city. And we have a lot of vehicles, we have a lot of personnel that are working in various capacities. So from time to time, there may be a mishap or a mistake or an accident that happens, although we try to prevent those things. Just want to bring to everybody's awareness, you may already be aware, but with our municipal insurance policy, let's just say if we have a vehicle, a city vehicle that runs into a building and causes damage, our current policy has a cap at $25,000. And so Mr. Howe is very familiar with this situation.
Sorry, it's not bad.
Yeah. Too soon, right? But anyways, we have a kind of a current situation where there was a church building that received some damage, and so we're kind of in the middle of a similar situation. is what happened last year. And so we just want, Mr. Howell and I were discussing the possibility of maybe the city should look into some type of gap coverage. You know, we want to do what's right, right? We, to no fault of their own, something happens. We don't want to leave property owners kind of standing there with repair costs. And these particular incidents are, I would say this current one's lesser value, but it could be expensive, right? And so we just want to kind of put that before the council, really to do some due diligence, if y'all are okay, for us to look into what some options might look like to, as some form of gap coverage. 'Cause, I mean, that's basically the short end of that story, so.
That's the right thing to do.
Well, I agree, because, you know, this all stems from the fact that we're, as a city, we're immune from liability.
Right, toward immunity. Mhm.
But that doesn't prevent our employees from committing a tort and damaging somebody's property. And $25,000 cap 10, 15 years ago might have been okay, but I think we need to at least investigate what it would cost us to increase that cap.
Okay.
And I think in the best interest of our citizens who we represent.
That's right.
It's a wise decision to
Absolutely.
try to mitigate that damage.
And I have a question. If our property damage limit is 25,000, how much is our personal injury limit?
I don't have all that
We need to
information.
take a look at that, because if it's low, we need to do something there too. Because someone could be injured or killed.
Sure. We'll look into all that and have more information available for you. Just really wanted a nod from the council, if it's all right for us to look into this further.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Item number 15, discussion, this is the continued discussion of the Berry Hill Storage Building addition. I'll try to just summarize this. We had a group go out to Berry Hill Park. I know last time there was an update of a storage building that was gonna be closer to the tennis courts. The elevation was gonna be too low, right? So it was gonna have to be raised up like 2 or 3 or 4 feet, and anyways, that was gonna be a mess. So we had a group come out and look at what are some potential options. It was identified probably from aesthetics as well as just operationally, maybe adding on to the existing concession stand building would probably look the best, and then also as far as location, be a good location. So I guess what we're asking for the council is, we're gonna need some type of drawing, whether that's done by, I don't know, Bear, if your company is able to do those drawings, or I think Barry Hoffman did the concession stand, to maybe have them look at it and say, what would it look like to just add on to the existing structure, the storage facility, and tie that in where it looks like it was meant to be.
I thought that was the location where we had the problem about the height.
No, that was closer to the actual tennis court and that little nook
Okay.
green area. So I think that we'd be okay, correct me if I'm wrong there, but it'd be okay to,
Yeah, I think the location that we discussed on site, I think it was Jeff's idea, is a good idea, I think, to extend on the south side. Mr. Hoffman, I know that, we were the engineer on the tennis and pickleball court. Mr. Hoffman was our sub-consultant for the architectural drawings. We can't draw a vertical drawing to advertise for bids, but I don't wanna, you know, tell the council what to do, but it would make sense for him to, I think, draw the addition, having drawn the original building. So that seems to make good sense.
I agree.
okay, so if the council's okay, then we'll just approach Mr. Hoffman and try to get a cost estimate on to draw in addition to the existing building. Does that sound good to y'all?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Item number 16 is a resolution, the grass cutting liens. We good to move that forward?
Yes.
Thank you. Item number 17 is a resolution to enter into an agreement with Kimley Horn for the Safe Streets for All Action Safety Plan.
This is, yeah, this is for a grant. This is Kimley Horn, the company that we selected to do our safety action plan. It's the contract that they provided with us, which is equal to the amount of the grant awarded funds. So the communications, by the way, just that we've had with Kimley Horn so far has been top notch. They've been really good and responded. So I'm really looking forward to working with them. I haven't worked with them in the past, so with them.
This is like a $500,000 safety action plan grant. And then once that's completed, that allows us to apply for implementation grants.
Right.
Okay,
So you move it forward.
thank you. Then item number 18 is a resolution to enter into an agreement with Davidson Engineering for engineering services pertaining to trail design for the RDOT TAP grant trail connecting the Searcy Bike Trail to Riverside Park.
Yeah, in your packet's a contract from Mr. Davidson, and we're just requesting to select Mr. Davidson from our pre-qualified list to begin the design. Mr. Davidson's already done some design work along Davis, and then as well as his affiliation with the water department, what he does there, and it would be a wise move to use Mr. Davidson to go ahead and design this trail, which connects, if you've ever been out on the bike trail, it's that tight bend, right just by the sewer ponds, and it'll go up around the sewer pond and then follow Davis up to Highway 13 and then over to the new entrance to Riverside Park.
So you move it.
Makes sense to me.
All right, we're moving that forward. Real quick on that note, Richard, this is separate but kind of the same. I just want to make sure the council knows a very key connection to this whole trail system and the Riverside Park is going to be there at Davis Drive and the bypass. And so that's something that's going to be coming up because once we get people to that intersection, they need the safety crossover. That is a study that we requested with RDOT, but we're going to need the press on that study and then the consideration of a light or something there to get people across safely because that's where all these trails are headed, right? And there's a lot of traffic and backed up traffic there. So just want to kind of let y'all know.
We need extra turn lanes there too.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just want to kind of mention that this is a key trail connection that we got a grant for, but that's where it's heading, is to that intersection, and we've got to safely get people across that road.
I was gonna add a comment on the way here. I was talking, my son gave me a call, sorry, my throat's sore. My son gave me a call, something we're talking, so he was like, professionally, I say Mr. Davidson, but he calls him Bear, as we all do personally. So he goes, does Bear does he get any work at the city? I said, yeah, he does. He's competitively priced and does a good job. He goes, well, that's good. So anyway, as I was reading through these last two things, I thought it's really good that we have somebody local, grew up here, has little kids, has a passion for the area. You know it's gonna get a little extra attention.
Yeah.
With somebody from who knows where, so.
Cersei's very fortunate, and of course I'm biased because I was one of those design folks in Cersei for a long time. But Cersei's very fortunate for the size town that we have such quality engineer, quality architects, survey firms, landscape architect, and multiple engineering firms. We have an engineering firm right next door that specializes in a lot of water utility projects, salt. So Cersei's very fortunate to have such good professional services design folks like Mr. Davidson. So.
He also said, you remember like, you and Mr. Jim, you wouldn't let us be kids, you like riddled us with like multiplication questions. I said, you guys were the two smartest in that. He goes, and then you did that thing where you would like name a number of a president, and we had to say who it was. I said, you guys probably still know him. You still know him? No, not anymore. We wouldn't let them eat until they could say all the presidents and stuff like that.
Well, it's a big year for building. Several of these projects are going to be completed, and they're going to be completed in the next several months. And Bear, I know that you've been instrumental in these. And what's really exciting is just the tremendous impact that it's going to have on quality of life for our families, for those that are looking to relocate to Searcy, those that are looking for jobs, in Searcy, whether that's at the hospital or Harding or industry. So it's really neat. This is going to be a fun year. And so, Mayor, we're excited that you're continuing to support us in this way.
Thank you.
All right.
Mayor, I realize Highway 13 is obviously under RDOT's control, but I would agree with Mr. Rainey, and I would encourage you and Mr. Davidson and Mr. Stafford all to try to work with the Highway Department to see if there's a possibility of turning lanes out there. They're desperately needed.
Yeah, we sure will. Okay, the last item on the agenda is the budget adjustment ordinance.
Can I ask a question about it?
You bet.
Jason, other than fuel, everything's coming out of the restricted project reserve, so those are the Fund 14, whatever we call it, except this $150,000 out of the general fund to Wooster Construction.